Right. I think that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, am I live? Can you see me now? Hello. Is that it? Yeah, I'm on. We are live. We are live, Gray. Thank you for tuning in to the test. Thank you for tuning in to the test. You can see me. I had to trigger it in YouTube Studio. That's what it was. But that's what the test is for, isn't it? I just hang on a minute. I've got my first guest, and I've worked out how to do it as well. Grey cloudy day, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, Grey?
I'm okay. So when I just checked, you weren't live. Are they saying you're live now?
Yeah, I think I'm live again now. I had to turn it on.
I'll be right back. Someone's in my driveway honking. I'll be right back. Okay.
No worries.
You want me to? Okay. Sorry about that.
No worries. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. As you can see up in the where am I? That way. Up in that bit there, you've got Restream. I'm on a new streaming platform, and I'm trying to get the hang of it. It's not that dissimilar to StreamYard. It's quite user friendly. And as I said, this is a little test stream. I'll probably hang about for an hour or so if anyone comes in. I can send you the link as well. If I open up Twitter, if anyone's on Twitter, I'll send you the link. I'm very interested to see. Here we are. Is Grey Cloud. I'm quite interested to see how smooth it runs, to be honest. I can't work out how to play videos to start with. Well, I know how to play videos, but I can't just play intro videos without my little screen in the corner. Some of the layouts are a bit weird on here, so I've got to get used to that. We got like things like this that can come out like that, or we could have Grey Cloud as a little guest there, like that. Only joking. But yeah, I recommend it looks alright so far, this platform, and I recommend you try it if you're a streamer. Apparently you get unlimited hours. You don't get as much allowances as StreamYard. Like you can only have a few videos loaded in your library, not as much as StreamYard. But apart from that, it looks alright. It's quite easy to work out. How you doing tonight, A. Riley, Abu Khan? Oh, that's what I've been forgetting to do as well. I can bring you up still, look. I can bring you up still like StreamYard. The revolution will not be televised. This is not a test. This is not a test. Not allowed. Everything is a test. Everything. Everything is a test, they say.
Sorry about that, Johnny.
That's right, mate.
There's somebody wanting my landlord's number.
Right. Is he a dodgy landlord, or is he a good landlord?
It's a woman. You could call her a slumlord, but if you just don't make no trouble and you pay your rent, she don't bother you. Like, you know what I'm saying? The trailers ain't really all that great, but you ain't. Me personally, I don't pay a lot. I'm kind of fixed in. She's went up on everything, but mine rent's pretty cheap. So are we live now? Did you ever figure out?
Yeah, we're live now. We got on. We got on. I've worked it out, and it's not that bad, really, is it? It's not that different than StreamYard. Have you've used StreamYard as well, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, I've been messing around with StreamYard, but then that conversation in the in that private DM group yesterday made me think about looking into this, especially when Mr. Self Destruct was talking about unlimited hours. I went immediately and looked it up. I was like, okay, there's some limitations, but if I can stream through this for free all month long without a limitation, it seems like that's a better deal.
Yeah. Well, I did read it up. I googled it, and it said that this platform, there's no limit to your hours on the free platform, apparently. But I'm not sure if they'll change that eventually, like StreamYard did. StreamYard have changed their hour allowance for me. I can only get 5 a month now. That's like one, maybe two shows for me.
I tried to find some information on that yesterday online about have they changed it. I couldn't find anything. Not even talking
It's,
about that they changed it for you guys.
it's
But
odd. It's very odd.
it seems like you've been using it a long time, haven't you? It seems like there'd be some kind of
I've been using it
notice.
since like this time last year. Yeah, about a year, just over a year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Where I'm kind of like, I just kind of started trying to use it within the last month or so.
Yeah.
And you just don't let me talk too much, man. I'm just kind of I'm honored that you sent me the link.
No, I like it. I like hearing you talk. You've got interesting stuff to talk about. I noticed you've been doing some doodles recently. You're getting better, aren't you? You're drawing.
Yeah, I think so. You know what's funny is someone's been sending. There's another person on X that's been sending me different links and stuff to things on how to improve. And yesterday they sent me something thinking that they said I want to try to help you create your first comic book. And here's some. I think they were thinking that I'm trying to draw so that I want to make a comic book and I be the artist. And I was like, no, I have an idea for a comic. I have a epic story. I'd be the writer. I definitely want another artist. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd be the creator and setting up the whole world.
I prefer writing, to be honest.
Do what?
I prefer writing as well. I can do little drawings. I'm not an amazing artist. I'm better at writing and creating things in my head.
Well, I explained to them that I'm just kind of dabbling with drawing, like taking it a little more seriously and seeing how well I can get. My idea is that if I'm ever able to get to the point where I can maybe about to, put out the story that I have in my head, I could sketch out different ideas and give them to an actual artist and they perfect it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Just kind of character sketches and stuff that I do roughly, but you give them to the actual artist that you're going to use.
Yeah, like storyboards. Just doing like little basic storyboards with stick men and the situation you want drawn, and then the artist improves it.
Yeah, so they get the general concept that I'm seeing in my head. If I can get the image, well enough for them to get the, so when I told those people that, they sent me another link to learn, kind of like how to script a comic book. Because, I've never wrote a comic or anything. I have a huge idea for a story that, like I said, that came to me over 20 years ago. So the past couple of years, I've been developing a rich history for this in my head and on paper, but I procrastinate a lot. So here lately, I've been trying to narrow down and get more done with my concept. I don't mean to talk too much, man. I just
No, it's fine. It's fine, honestly, mate. Like I said, I like it. I like chatting. Yeah, I've been
Uh,
doing a lot of drawing lately. I created this new character that I'm going to do like a book. It's an adult book, but it's set in the style of a kid's book, and
oh, okay.
it's called the Shmoo, and he's a
The sh-
creature.
the
He's
Shmoo.
yeah, the Shmoo. He was born from the blue goo on the bottom of a fat man's shoe. He's a little creature made of like blue gunge, and he goes around licking things. He licks things that he likes.
So, are you sure we're live?
Yeah, we know.
Because like I'm just trying to sit there. It was like there for a minute. Everybody was like going crazy in the chat, and then all of a sudden, I'm not seeing anything. But anyway, uh,
Now we are live. I can see it. It says we're live
oh,
in
okay.
the corner.
I don't know what the problem was.
There's a lot of streaming on tonight. There's a lot of different people on, so it's quite a busy night to stream on. That's why I just called this the test stream. It ain't nothing special. I just wanted to get used. I'm using it to get used to the layout and to see what I can do. And I think I worked
Yeah.
it out, mate.
Well, like I haven't noticed on StreamYard that I could do this from mobile, but on Restream, my second stream today, I discovered I was like, well, in the first stream that I tested, I discovered I could, like, even from my mobile, I can go into my photos and, like, if I'm by myself, like, if I was streaming on my channel by myself, I can pull up like a little, like, different photos I have in my gallery. I can pull up little small videos and it'll pull it up for me and play it and then put my image underneath it. And I was like, man, that's cool. You know, like I didn't see that option on the mobile from StreamYard. So I'm real happy with
Yeah,
that. And these backgrounds are kind of cool too.
yeah.
Like,
It's a few good
are you,
ones.
well, I mean, you know, it's like, as far as me, like just new to, I was basically doing what you're doing, just kind of going through everything and seeing what you can do.
Yeah. I think having one that moves takes up the graphics a little bit. If you have a moving background, it's not good for your graphics card. I'll keep a still one. I think it made it a bit slower when I was doing the moving backgrounds. It seems to make it slower. Just a warning. Oh, I like that one. That's nice. Purple.
I know that you used StreamYard to premiere a lot of your videos. The thing about this Restream, the free version, though, you're limited on. Did you notice that? Like if you premiere videos through the free one, I think you're limited to like 15 minutes or something and all that.
I just when I want to premiere a video, I just premiere it straight through YouTube. I don't bother about you. Yeah, I just used to use StreamYard for streaming, literally, just for doing Scabcast and interviews. But now I'm going to have to try and.
Right, if you want to have guests and people, like.
Yeah, and with the 5 hours I've got now on StreamYard, I'll probably just use that as my interviewing platform. And then I'll use this for everything else.
I don't know. I remember Mandy Summers about a month ago, or in the past few weeks, I remember seeing a stream, and she's using Restream now. She's paying for it. She told everybody on that. I don't remember what stream she was on, but you know, either her channel or the other. She was talking about.
I haven't.
She got a really good deal.
Do what? Price plan yet? I haven't looked at the price plan yet, but it's probably better than StreamYard. StreamYard it charges you like $100 or something, doesn't it, for a year or something like that? More.
It's more. I think with Restream, it's like it's a little under 200 for a year, and that's a lot less than like StreamYard is like $40-something a month.
To be honest, I'm quite
And
happy with the free version. To be honest, I don't care. I'm a bit. I think it's more punk anyway. You don't need all the fancy bits. As long as you can get out there and get your chat involved, it's all that matters.
that's why I'm kind of curious. Uh,
Good evening, Felix. Good evening, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm
hope
not at the minute. I'm not bothered about paying. To be honest, if we can get 3 hours out of the free plan, that's good enough.
well, that's what I've been saying to myself is that first off, I'm not making any money doing this. If I was to make something enough to, to justify paying a fee, then I probably would. But you know what I mean? Like if you had enough coming in to cover the cost of whatever it was, and it was paying for itself, then it'd be worth it. But you know, like I can see why someone on a bigger platform, like if you have a bigger channel and you've been doing it for a while, that it'd probably be beneficial to pay for it.
Yeah, if you're
Like,
getting enough, if you can get enough super chats and stuff to sustain it, then it's worth paying
exactly.
for.
Yeah, because then
But
it's like it opens up a lot of doors. But
yeah,
with the
I'm not saying not to do it, but like you said, you've got to be at a certain level. It's not worth doing it when it's beyond your means, is it? Really, if you're not getting that many viewers, then it's not worth paying for it at the minute. You've got to build yourself up.
right, like Restream, I could pay for $19 a month, but right now I'm barely getting by every month anyway, so I'm not gonna fork out even. Now I would pay 19 a month before I'm gonna pay 40 a month for StreamYard. You know what I mean?
I think that's reasonable. I would probably pay that like 20 quid a month.
Yeah, I mean,
It's pro-
I think I could come up with $20 a month probably just from people helping out. Like I thought about that today, but I'm not gonna worry about it for a while. Just
yeah,
keep growing the channel.
yeah, definitely. What's the weather like where you are at the minute? Is it getting better now, like for the summer, or
It's,
is it still?
where I'm at, it's gorgeous, dude. It's a nice sunny day out today. It's like I'll show you actually.
Yeah, go for it. I'm
Give me a sec.
fascinated. Wow, look at
Can you see
that.
see the
Yeah, you got
yard and
wow. You got loads of land outside. You could have a proper barbecue party out there.
oh yeah, I could have a few people and have a little grill
Yeah,
out here.
that's
You know what I mean?
beautiful. Land.
I've
Do you
got a
get
little spot.
do you get
I've got
rabbits? Do you get like rabbits and stuff on those fields?
uh well not right here. Probably there's so many dogs running around. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's rabbits all around here. You know what I'm saying? Let me switch back. I just wanted to kind of like I was learning how to switch my camera and everything this morning.
It's quite good
You just
quality. It's only because I've put my stream on a lower resolution, but your camera's good.
okay. Well, I'm gonna switch it back around just so. But sometimes it's fun to just like when I'm streaming by myself. Sometimes after a little while, I got to get up and I'll just take my phone with me and I'll
Yeah.
go outside and people like show them what the day looks like and stuff.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. I like seeing the outdoors as well.
Well, I have
Lovely,
I,
lovely
go ahead.
view.
I'm sorry.
Lovely view, says Adam Webber. And Ben Jamhouse, you asked how I am. I'm very good, Ben. Thank you. Thank you for asking, my friend. But yeah, going back to that, I love the outdoors. Do you ever have you ever been? Well, you probably have, but do you ever go camping at all, like out in the wilderness?
I haven't been in a long time. You know, I'm pretty much immobile. Like I have to rely on like if I'm not walking somewhere, if I have to get a ride, you know what I mean? Like I don't drive, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. So it's been a while since I've camped, but
Yeah.
you're talking to someone too, also that I used to live that way. You know what I mean? I've lived on the streets quite a bit over the past 20 something years. When I say the
So
streets, usually in a tent, you know, in a wooded area somewhere and located and scouted out, like where I knew where all the resources were and shit, you know.
yeah, clever.
Like I've never, even anytime I've been on the street, I've never called myself homeless because wherever I lay my freaking head's my home, you know, like even if it's just under a tree.
Yeah. Well, I was homeless at one point, but if I was ever to go homeless again, I would probably head to the forest as well. I'd go and build a little hut or something, or some tree house somewhere. It's better to live out in the wilderness and hunt for your food than beg, I reckon.
Well, it depends on your location too, you know.
What happened to the Mandy stream? We had to reschedule it, my old babbers. We had to reschedule it. I had to go into work. Well, first of all, Mandy had to do something, then it was back on. Then I had to pull out of it. We're going to reschedule it in a few weeks. Nicholas, hell, how you doing, Nick? This is an odd little platform, this. It brings up a big bar. Instead of just a little message, it brings up a whole bar at the bottom.
Huh. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's very similar, but there's just certain aspects that, of course, I haven't used StreamYard enough, but I just
Yeah,
thought, why not test out all the different things that out there that are free? You know, like you never know till you try it.
I'm wondering now. I'm wondering now if we get. Yeah, there you are. I can change it like that. Look. Head and weather, lovely. That's better. Bring you lot up in a little round box.
Okay, I was getting confused because with I'm realizing that with Restream, the chat comes in at the top. Like when I'm on when I was on StreamYard, it seemed like it would cut like the newest chat would be at the bottom, I believe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
At least on YouTube, I know on YouTube it's that way.
yeah, no problem, Mikey. I'm going to try and do as many as I can. Interviews. I like doing them. I like learning about people. I might even interview Grey Cloudy Day one day. I'm saving it. That's why I'm not asking him too much questions about his life because I'm saving it for an interview.
Hey, that's cool, man. We'll work it out one day. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of interesting things I could share. You know. What does this say? I'm trying to keep with what people are saying.
You may convince other CGers to change. They're all hating the changes in StreamYard. Yeah, well, that's up to them. This is just a stream platform that I found. It was recommended when I looked it up, and it was quite simple. I tried Streamlabs, but it was too technical for my little brain. I couldn't work it all out.
I tried it out for a minute, like a few weeks ago. I just kind of went there. I went in, and then I
It's
was
not
like,
very, it's not very user
oh,
friendly, is it? Like this is user friendly. It's quite self explanatory. It runs through what you've got to do. I
oh
don't
yeah.
think Streamlabs isn't that user friendly. Yeah, I do like this. Apart from the fact I can't play intros, it's a good little streaming platform.
Oh, I don't know anything. I didn't see anything about that.
Well, you can play
Which also
videos, but
do
you've
what?
got to have. You can still play videos, but you've got to have your camera on the screen as well. It doesn't just let you have a whole screen for the video. It's a bit odd.
Well, I don't know. Earlier today, I was able to take myself off the screen in the video because I was showing my little short I made today with my happy cloud. You know, my little figure.
Yeah.
I made a little short, and I was able to pull that video up out of my gallery and just play it full screen if I wanted. Now I don't remember how I did it. It'd probably just take time, like, you know, just messing around.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll work it out eventually.
Because
like,
go ahead.
Notice that my colours are yellow and black.
I was going to comment on that yesterday because you had a yellow shirt on and you had that hat on, didn't you?
Yeah, Eric July copied my style. He's copied my idea for colours.
Well, when I saw what you were wearing yesterday, I just liked the colors. It popped out, like, you know, it stood out because a lot of times you're just wearing, you know, like just like nothing with a lot of color or anything, and I really like that. I like the yellow and black.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's a nice colour mix. I like your T-shirt. What does that say on? What's that say on there?
Life is beautiful. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. You know, like or no, it's a beautiful day. It says it's a beautiful day. Don't ruin it. Like you know, I'm having a good day. Don't fuck it up.
Good happy message. It's nice to see.
I'm still like when I mentioned last week or whenever it was about your shirt, I wasn't saying anything about you. I knew it was it's still, you know, spring Teespring, but I'm kind of just curious how come they're still like so far behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I think you're my first customer. I don't think anyone else has ordered from them yet. So you're going to be the.
Well, I'm going to be patient. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I emailed them and they told me what was going on, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to ask for them to refund or nothing. I was like, because I want to have that shirt. Like, you know what I mean? When I get that shirt, I want to be able to, like, well, you know, I want to show it off, dude.
If they mess you around too much, I'll try and contact them and I'll let them know that someone's trying to order. I'll prompt them. Yeah,
well, I mean, they know. It's just when they explained it, it was, you know, it was like it'd be different if there wasn't, if nobody got back to me. So I do have to say their customer service was quick on getting back. I mean, I had an email the very next day, so I was glad about that. What is that? If you run into an asshole, you run into an asshole.
If you run into an asshole, you're an asshole. Yeah.
What was all that shit going on? Oh, sorry. When I was in the chat last night, I kept going back and forth between, you know, that group in the DM and back to the chat. There was a lot of like back and forth, and I've been trying to figure out, are these guys like really going at each other, or are they just fucking around? And I thought, I'm not going to worry about it. If they don't like each other, that's their business.
You mean on it? The group?
You know what I mean? Do what?
Yeah. You mean the group on X?
The chat group. Like there was some banter going back and forth during, you know, and I was like, I'm trying to figure out, is this person being serious to each other or not? And then I just was like, I'm not going to worry about it because it ain't got nothing to do with me.
I haven't been reading much of it. I get so many alerts come up in my messages on it. It's like I've got lots of people adding me to groups.
I'm enjoying getting to know different people, though.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to network. That's how you improve as well, especially with live streaming. That's what made me want to interview people. I want to find different people from all different fields and find out about their lives and what they do.
Well, I was going to mention a little bit, just a few minutes back, because you're in England, right?
Yeah.
Almost about 2 weeks ago, I had somebody come in to my stream for about an hour. He was in my chat when I was doing solo, and then I was like, well, why don't we just start another stream and I'll use StreamYard. He's a friend of mine from England. He's got a channel. Now, he ain't done it in a while, but his channel's called Lockdown Productions. He does like custom toy videos and stuff. I don't know if you ever seen it, but it was real cool because we've known each other for years. Like he sent me, matter of fact, he's the one that sent me the head. Have you seen any of the pictures that I posted a while back of that? It had a Star Wars body and I had like a head that looks kind of like me on it. But he had customized the head and sent it so I could like put, like I can pick what body I want to put myself on and be like Avatar, Gray Cloud,
That's cool.
Yeah.
So he's a toy maker then.
Yeah, he he buys a lot of well, I tell you, I found out on that stream, I didn't know what he did for a living. He actually is a prop. He makes props for movies and TV shows. He said one of his biggest clients that he's ever had was what's that show that everybody was into? I never really watched it. The one with the dragons and shit.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones was like one of his biggest customers. He said like, so it was interesting to get to actually talk to him, like, because the few years that we've known each other, it's been through like comments and then when in direct messages. And then that day we actually got to see each other and like he shared, like what had been going on with him and why he hadn't been uploading in a while. He'd had health issues, but for me to find out like what he does for a living, I was like, oh, that's cool. He was working on matter of fact, he was working on like a hat that was like a Mongol hat. Those hats like the Mongolians would wear?
Yeah.
He was working on some props like that for like an exhibition, like a kind of like a con, but it was like for different vendors to show off their products for studios and stuff. So that was interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. I've always been into different. I've never really collected them, but I've always wanted to collect different like statues and figurines of people. There's some good ones out there.
Yeah, I quit collecting last year. I had gotten to where I was like, I'd gotten real heavily back into collecting action figures a few years ago and then just kept doing it. And then last year, something just came to me that for right now, I'm just kind of putting that on hold and like trying to concentrate on other things, Yeah. Someone said they like my beard. They want to hire me as Santa. I get that a lot.
You would make a fun Santa, to be fair. You'd be quite good. You'd be jolly. You're not quite fat enough to be. You're not fat though, are you? You'd need to fatten up to be Santa.
I am overweight, but no, I'm not quite the size of Santa. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'd need to put like a pillow or I'd need a little bit of padding on the belly.
Yeah, you're not grossly overweight. You're still quite healthy looking. You're not like to a point where you can't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know how it is though. Like I know where I could be, and I know where I was like over a year ago, and I know where I'm at now, and I'm not happy with it. But I've always had my weight has always fluctuated, man. Like in the spring and summer months, I usually drop, but of course I become more active usually,
I was going to say that with all that land around you, you ought to go for a nice gentle morning jog now and again, just to wake you up and cut a few calories. You got loads of nice land.
I do kind of like a fast walk. I can't. I could jog, but I have a lot of impact problems. But I took a walk this morning, and I sort of walked down. There's a cool because we're out in the country. There's a little side road I can go down. There's like a pond down the road and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's good. They give you an option of fonts as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, like you mean like for what the letters look like?
Yeah. That's quite cool.
My friend just texted me. I sent her a text saying I might be on my friend Johnny Scab's stream in a little bit. I said he wears a mask, and she was like, she just sent me a text. She's like, "Wears a mask, really?" Like, kind of it's with an exciting, not like a bad question. She was just like, "Oh, cool," you know.
Yeah, I'm a bit of an oddity. That's kind of the gimmick, really.
I like it. I like what you do.
People come from thousands of miles around to see my mask. They said, in the old days, I would have been captured and used as a circus attraction.
Oh. I had a stream the other day. It was just a solo stream through the YouTube app, but it was actually a pretty good stream. I actually had someone. Now, I'm not trying to bring this up to get into any like controversial topic, but there was actually someone for the first time viewing my channel. They came in the chat and they asked me the question, Palestine or Israel, and I was like, And then I answered, I said, I'm on the side of humanity. I said, we all have the right. We should have the right. But the point being is they were actually over in Jordan. At one moment, the person was like, "Hey, I'm going to get off of here. I think I hear bombs." And I was like, "Yeah, that's understandable, dude." I was like, if you got to go and there's some bombs on in the background. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. I'd never had someone coming to the channel from that area of the world. And they were really cool, very respectful. It wasn't, I thought because that question could be a gotcha question to some people. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't bring that up to get political because I really don't get, but when they asked at first, I was like, is this person trolling me and trying to catch me? And then I just was like, you know what? I'm on the side of humanity. So if that don't give you what, if that ain't a good answer, then I don't know what is. Like, I'm not trying to pick fucking sides. Like, I don't think any war or any tragedy like that's any good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
But that's the fun part too for me about streaming is I have several people that come by my little small streams from other areas of the world. There's another guy that comes fairly often from Hungary, and it's really cool. It's like he gets excited when he finds me streaming and comes in the chat. He's like, "Oh, I caught you," and I'm like, "Oh, that's my buddy, from Hungary." And matter of fact, he got robbed this past week. He got robbed and had to fight somebody that was trying to rob him.
Good.
So yeah, I know. He hadn't been in a stream in a while, and he popped up, and I was like, "How you doing?" And he's like, I'm not feeling so great. And I was like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "Some homeless person tried to steal my bag yesterday." And I had to, and I was like, "Oh," because first he said I got in a fight, and I was like, "Oh, okay. So you're not feeling so good because you had a scrap." And then he explained it. It wasn't like he got in an argument with a friend. It was somebody straight up trying to jack his shit,
Yeah. The streets are a rough place when you're homeless. You get like rival homeless gangs.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's not homeless, but he was just saying he was referring to the person that's like he has the job. He's got a 6-year-old kid, and Matter of fact, his child was there watching the stream with him, like when I was streaming.
Oh, yeah.
What does that say? You got to pull up on him.
Gotta pull up on him.
Without Terrace, you never really enjoyed the quiet moments in life, though.
It's true, I guess, Riley. It's true.
Is that ain't A Riley? That's just an A Riley, isn't it?
Yeah. A Riley. Initial.
Right, that's not.
I'm guessing his
I'm
first
saying
name
that's
is
not Riley.
No, it's Alfonso. Alfonso Riley, I reckon. That's my guess. Alfonso.
Right, Riley's would show up at Young Clipper anyway, would like if Riley was in the chat.
Either that or he might be called Arthur. I reckon he might have a British name like Arthur Riley.
What did that say? Yeah. Johnny Scab wears a mask. I thought that was natural. See, I'm talking to you and not keeping up with everything that someone says.
Yeah, the chat.
But I'm trying to catch up.
We get a good laugh in my chat. You get sometimes now and again you get a few trolls come in and dribble around. But now and again, 90% of the time, everyone's brilliant.
That's how mine are usually when I do stream. Even just of course, I haven't done a lot with other people yet on my channel, but
he says his name's Anthony. Greetings, Anthony.
Oh, okay.
Anthony Riley.
Well, hello there, Anthony.
It's a good name, though.
I just put my name in as Gray Cloud. I didn't put my, like on my, when it said type in who I was, because my channel's Gray Cloudy Day. I am Gray Cloud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got to stop. If you knew what I was saying, then I wouldn't have to say that, would I? I'm trying to think of something. Here's something that, sometimes I mess around with painting, man.
Well, that's a good
one. You could say it's kind of me if you think about it. Like with the, but like I'm no, art is subjective anyway, so. Are you like this? I can't force, like I am trying to make myself practice a little bit every day. But like sometimes if I'm not feeling the inspiration, like it's the same with writing for me. If it's not just coming to me, it's hard for me to make myself do it. Like when I sit down and try, it don't work as well. When I just put the pen to paper and it just starts coming. Like sometimes I write stuff and I don't know where, of course I've always told people, I don't feel like I'm the author. I feel like I'm a conduit. You know what I mean? Like whatever comes down and puts on paper is not really me. It's coming from somewhere else, and it comes through the ether, and it comes into me, and then comes out through. Same with music. When I play music, that's how I felt. Like when I was in bands, that's how I. Yeah, it's like
with the spirit of jazz.
Like when you're jamming and it's just flowing, like sometimes if you got like good chemistry with someone musically, you don't even have to have songs written. You can just start jamming and it just fucking works,
You're right.
That's a beautiful thing.
Most of my songs from our band was just my guitarist just starting with a little tune, and then it'd be like you might get the drummer or the bassist just joining. It's just like naturally built up. There was nothing forced. It was just people fucking about, really.
Yeah, seeing where it would go. Like,
yeah.
And then you get onto something that you keep repeating it, and you're like, man, that we might have something there. And then you work with it, and you perfect it, and it turns into a song. I love that kind of shit, man. I miss making music with other people.
That's how you get the magic. That is you've got to let it flow out of you. Definitely,
Hey, Gray Wolf.
music is a form of magic, I reckon.
It is, I think.
Definitely, vibrations are very powerful things.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a vibration that holds everything together, holds the earth together.
Oh, yeah.
7.8 hertz. I can't think of it now, but it's called the Schumann frequency.
Yeah, everything's based on vibration and frequencies and stuff, you know. I mean, why do you think they use quartz in electronics? It vibrates at a different level. It's like a good conduit for the. Of course, I didn't know that till I went and dug quartz crystals down in Arkansas, and I learned a lot more about like the mines down there in Arkansas sell these huge slabs of quartz out to the Silicon Valley that they cut in paper thin slices to use in all the computers. Pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah. Resonance. Yeah, the resonance is what it's called. Yeah, I'm well into that. I believe like I'm quite into like the old ways. I believe in a lot of Druid and
Yeah,
Celtic beliefs.
same here. Even though you'll see me reading that Jesus Calling devotional, I get the sense that some people think I'm only one dimensional.
But there's no.
I'm not.
The thing
I
is,
have a
you
do what?
a lot of people think that you can't be both, but that's a lie because you get certain sects of Christians, like for instance Franciscan friars. Now Franciscan friars they prefer to worship Jesus outside in nature, like in the
Mm-hmm.
woodland or by a river or something like that. So in a way, they still practice a kind of pagan form of prayer, but they're praying to
Oh yeah.
Jesus. There's a lot of stuff still linked. So you can believe in Jesus. You can be a Christian and still respect certain pagan beliefs and still practice certain pagan beliefs if you're focusing it towards your God.
That's what I believe. I burn sage. I burn. I don't know what that wood's called, but I know a lot about, or I used to know a lot about stones and different things. Someone asked me yesterday about if I knew much about runes, and I don't know if it was yesterday. It might have been the day before, and we got into a good conversation about that too. I don't know much about them, but I have had experience with learning about it.
Hippies.
What are they calling
Yeah,
us hippies?
yeah, I think so. I don't care. I am a bit of a hippie sometimes, I guess.
It's like weird. I've always felt like a hippie. I ran with a lot of hippie people, back but I've always ran with just about any. If people were cool, it didn't. If we got along, we got along. It didn't matter if we were into all of the same shit. There would be some kind of common ground where we were cool with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, let's see.
Have you
I'm trying to
ever
get out of the habit. Yes, sir.
have you ever looked at your family history, like where your roots go back to? Have you ever tried studying it?
That's that's pretty synchronistic of you to ask me because I was asked that yesterday also by a guy that's I believe he's in Scotland. He's in Scotland. No, he's in Ireland. He was in my chat. He goes by something monk, the Templar monk. He was like, "What's your heritage?" And I said, the furthest back I could find, like on my dad's side of my family, my legal last name is Lemming. And of course that guy was like, well, that's English. That's about how far back I went and found that on that side, it's at least from England. And then on my mom's side, she was pretty convinced that we had some Irish blood or Scottish. She didn't know for sure, but she was a Lindsay, like a Lindsey. And but then I also, so I really haven't done so much research that I know a lot, but I know vaguely that the two last names at least go back towards England, and then probably even, because I said I'm pretty sure my ancestry probably even goes back a little to like the Nordic region, like Viking type shit. And dude was like, yeah, you look kind of like you could, you know what I mean? I just look at me. I'm like 6'1", big dude, you know, like I don't mean to Anglo-Saxon.
Mikey in the chat is asking what our favourite bands are. Do you have a favourite band?
One of my favorite bands of all time is I Hate God. Even though, do you know what I'm talking about? EYE, not with a capital I. Sludge, Doom. They're from New Orleans. Sometimes I don't share that because I know people hear the name and they're like, oh. But, you know, I can't worry about that. They had a huge influence on me. I got to meet the guys back in the 90s. We hung out with them. They did a whole like tour based on something I said. When on their third album, I'm sorry, you asked the question. Is it okay if I share this real quick? Or
carry on.
It was like 1995 or something. They put out their third album, Dope Sick. It was the opening night of the show in Memphis, Tennessee. We'd already met them before and hung out with them, but we got to like get in the show. We hung out. We rented a room at the same motel. So after the show, we were hanging out. I had like a real shitty bag of weed. This was back in the 90s, like before everybody had a name for their weed and shit. You know what I mean? Just like just some swag. And I held that bag up and I was like, man, well, matter of fact, we had some other drugs earlier in the night, but they turned most of that down at the time before the show because they didn't want to we were like offering them acid and shit. They're like, no, man, we don't want to trip, you know, and get up on stage. Right? Point being is I said, I've got some dirt weed, but I'm going to share it with you. And their drummer, the original drummer that died a few years ago, he said, man, we got to put that on a shirt, the power of dirt weed. A year later, they had shirts and was doing a fucking tour called the Power of Dirt Weed Tour and I mean, I'm not trying to sound like somebody, but I know like if somebody was to meet them and knew that story and asked them, even if they don't remember my name, they would know they would remember that there was someone that triggered that. You know what I'm saying? That hung out with them, was in the motel room, was like a huge fucking fan. And, but I'm trying to think of any other favorite bands. Of course, I like a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, it's like me. I can't just pick one band. I guess if I had to pick one that I listen to a lot, that would probably be someone like The Clash or something like that. Or Joe Strummer and the Master Heroes.
Yeah, like when people ask me questions, it's like some people ask, like it's hard for me to narrow down. It's just when they asked that question that popped in my brain because it's always been one of my all-time favorites. Anything that has like its roots in the Sabbath type riffs and stuff, I really like too. You know, like but like I'm like you. I like a lot of punk rock. I like a lot of hardcore. Hell, I like bluegrass too. You know what I'm saying? I'm big into bluegrass. Like, so to me, it depends on what mood I'm in, dude.
Yeah, I get you.
You know how some people like they only listen to one style and that's all. They can't branch out. They can't be open-minded enough to listen to anything else. for me, I have to be able to explore and listen to other stuff. And, you know, I don't know. Everybody's different.
Yeah. Well, I always found my creative process when I'm writing sort of punk music, I don't listen to other punk music. I listen to different forms, different genres, different forms of music. There's nothing to do with punk to get my inspiration, and then transfer that into the song I'm writing.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, I try to stay away from from similar genres, so I'm not subliminally copying anything I'm hearing.
Yeah, there's a fine line, but there's a fine line in having good influence and then being almost, you know how like some bands, it's more than an influence. It's pretty much just flat out carbon copy of their favorite band. But then you can, like really good bands, you can hear details of different bands in their music, but it's not like, it doesn't necessarily sound like anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
or to me, like, there's a lot of bands out there that sound so much alike, and they just trying to, and there's nothing right. They're trying to emulate like their heroes or something. And so, and usually it takes a few years for a band to really come into their own sound. I know that, like the band I was in for the longest in the '90s for about almost 5 years. Are you there?
yeah, I'm here. It's all right.
Okay, I didn't know. Sorry, I didn't know if something had happened. And I just don't want to ever feel like if I'm on a stream with somebody that I don't ever want to seem like I'm trying to be the fucking center of attention or some shit. You know, like I noticed in some streams there's some people that'll be like that. Like they're
I know you're not like that,
in
mate.
every minute. Do
and
I?
I know you're not like that, and I don't mind you talking because I'm interested in what you've got to say. I'm gonna end the stream soon. I'd like to see if it works. Actually, ending it in it today on YouTube. But thank you for coming
That's
on,
cool.
Grey Cloud, and thank you for everyone watching. I will be using this streaming software in future for a bit.
Hey, thanks for having me on here. Tell Mikey said he thought I'd be a Skinner dude. Well, I am into Leonard Skinner. Like I said, I like a lot of music, a lot of different stuff. So, but yeah, I need to get out of here anyway, do a few things. So, appreciate you, Johnny.
No worries. Thank you, everyone, and take care.
I'll see you later, man.
Adios.